What's up guys, it's Josh here with Take 'Em TV, and today we are going to be talking about broadheads and some of the broadheads that I've used in the past. These are those right here. We got a G5 Havoc, a QAD Exodus, and today's star, the Magnus Stinger. I just wanted to go ahead and make this video about why I went ahead and switched to the Magnus Stinger. So one of the big reasons why I went ahead and bought the Magnus Stingers is they are a double bevel broadhead, and I want to get into the world of cut-on contact broadheads while using a fairly heavy arrow that's pretty front of center heavy. I've done a lot of research lately on the whole topic of heavy arrows and cut-on contact broadheads and how well the overall success is of these arrow setups that people are building, and that's a main reason on why I went ahead and purchased these. Another reason is I wanted to get in and just try these out. I was able to buy these from Midway USA for $32 a 3-pack, which is insanely cheap, honestly. They are razor sharp out of the package, and you can take them even further by sharpening them and getting them ready for hunting. It's also another reason I went ahead and bought them is when you are shooting your broadheads, you should be shooting your broadheads. You have to resharpen them before hunting season, and if you're shooting mechanicals, 90% of the time your mechanicals are broken and you're just going out and you're buying another pack of mechanicals. With these, you just sharpen them up. Takes a little bit of time, you know. You buy a jig for it and sandpaper, but you can get these things insanely sharp. And cut-on contact heads only get better the more money you spend on them, like the Iron Will and the Ranch Fairy ones. Like, there's a reason why they're $200 for a 3-pack or $200 for a 4-pack. The steel quality is much better than a lot of these expandables that people are buying nowadays or companies are selling. Nothing against them, but it's kind of, you know, why we spent so much money on it. Now we got to go buy more when we could just buy these one time, shoot them the entire off season, and then resharpen them when it comes to hunting season, and they will be razor sharp. So I went ahead, I picked myself up 2 packs, so it was like $70 with shipping, and it shipped to my house in like 2 days. I know online on Magnus's website they're listed for right around $48, but you can also buy plenty of parts through their website if you like a screw comes out, or if you need new bleeder blades or anything like that, you can go ahead and purchase them on their website. They're incredibly cheap. So now I'm just going to kind of go down like chronological order of some of the broadheads that I used to shoot. The first head that I ever shot was, you know, your Muzzy 3-blade, the big, everybody had them, you know. It was the thing back in the early 2000s for some reason. Those and Rage tri-pans. Well, Rage tri-pans are still kind of a big thing in the whitetail world. But from there, I went ahead and I switched to an expandable. You know, everyone was talking about expandables, expandable this, expandable that. I wanted to kind of go ahead and get into it, but I wanted a little bit of a different route, and I purchased a... let's see if I can get that here for you. This is going to be a G5 Havoc broadhead. It's their 2-blade, and I know a lot of people use the dead meats that G5 and Havoc sell right now. My personal experience with these heads were nothing but problems. And I know they've fixed quite a bit of how their whole system works with their clip and everything on these now. But I had so many problems of, I'd get up in the tree stand, get my arrow knocked on. These blades would just fall down all the time before I was able to shoot. And then I was constantly having to change out these bands. They just wear out so easily. I don't know what it was, if it was the original product or what. Last year I decided to make the switch from these Havoc G5s, and I decided to go to what I think is honestly a really good broadhead in today's market. I went ahead to the QAD Exodus right here. You know, these things are incredibly small. They fly incredibly well, and for the most part, you know, they're incredibly sharp too. Now, the big thing that I liked about these, and I still love about these, is how freaking durable they are. I've had, you know, a couple incidents to where I'm target practicing in my backyard. I have a wooden retaining wall made out of railroad ties in my backyard, and it'd go all the way through the target, and this would be, my whole arrow was, you know, sticking into my retaining wall a good, you know, 2 inches, and I would, you know, carve these out of the retaining wall, and the point's still perfectly fine on them. The blades on that one could have used, you know, a new set of blades, but I went ahead, just kept shooting that for a good practice arrow. But overall, like, the broadhead wasn't mangled at all. It was actually in perfect condition, which was super surprising to me. But like I stated in the beginning of this video, the only reason that I switched from, you know, these QAD Exodus right here, come on, there we go. The only reason I switched from these arrows are they are technically barbed. So I was shooting the swept version, and if I would have shot the full blade version, I would have been fine. I could have gone to Colorado and shot these while I was elk hunting, but I kind of wanted to take this opportunity to go ahead and switch up again. I mean, if I didn't like these, you know, I'd only be out $70. I could go buy another pack of these for $45 for a 3-pack, you know, re-sighted my bow on these. But overall, these were a good quality broadhead. This year, like I stated in the beginning, we are going to be shooting the MAGNUS Stinger right there. Now, the first thing that I really thought about with these broadheads were they're big. They're a big head, honestly. If you guys can, you know, see a difference right here. The QAD Exodus versus the MAGNUS Stinger. Big head. But they shoot incredibly well. Like, these are incredibly streamlined, and they don't like get blown around too much, which is nice. I do run Max Hunter vanes, so I have a 4-fletch, pretty decent sized vane to kind of help steer these broadheads, or my arrows too. But overall, I am super impressed with the quality of these broadheads and how well they do actually perform. They kind of surprised me in the beginning on the flight of them, because I was worried that I was gonna like really struggle with tuning my bow to shoot these, but it was really simple, honestly. I just had to move my rest a little bit, not much, and they shot great. 60 yards, that's kind of where I'm stopping, is 60. I don't really want to shoot much further than that. But these things flew great out to 60. I had no problems with them at all. And they're definitely a deadly broadhead. They fly incredibly accurate. So another big reason that I mentioned before on these heads are the overall steel quality of them is much greater than, you know, the Havoc that I shot, because those were essentially like surgical blades. And then the QADs, those were a thicker steel, but I was still able to bend one blade up, you know, decently. And I am pretty impressed with how thick this steel is and the overall quality of it. Hey guys, what's going on? Sorry to interrupt today's video. I just want to come in here and say, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead, subscribe to this channel, leave a like, leave a comment, And let me know if this is the kind of content that you guys like. If you guys like these, little tidbit informational videos, or if you guys would rather see me, shooting something, or out in the field doing my trail camera stuff, or more reviews, I guess. But yeah, let me know. Honestly, I really enjoy these little, nerdy style videos. Honestly, is what I want to call them. But the technology in these arrows and the overall knowledge that a lot of these guys know that I listen to and I watch on podcasts and videos, it's incredible. And I've picked up a lot of little things here in the past couple months, honestly, on these arrow setups. So if this is something that you guys like and you guys want to see more of, let me know down in the comments. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of the video. So finally, kind of what I want to talk about with you guys is the whole the arrow build, and why I think these broadheads in today's market are becoming very, very popular. And a lot of that, I think, is to thank for the hunting public guys, ranch fairy guys. A lot of Hushin, I believe, is shooting them too, but a lot of guys are switching to super heavy arrows. They're switching to front of center heavy arrows because the bow market nowadays, the bows are getting faster and faster and faster and faster, and a lot of guys, struggling shooting super light arrows, are struggling to get pass-throughs on deer. The lighter the arrow set up, the faster that arrow is going to get. But speed does not defeat bone. Weight is going to defeat bone. And in the last 2 years, in my opinion, it's really taken off front of center heavy arrow builds. For that reason right there, like these arrows, these heavy duty, like 650, 600 grain arrow setups are burning through animals. I mean, it's crazy what a heavy arrow will do to a shoulder blade compared to a light arrow that's going 100 feet per second faster. These just have so much kinetic energy that they're able to break through bones, they're able to break through whatever they really need to, and they want to come out that other side. And the best way that I can explain it to you is with your light arrows. When you shoot it and it impacts that deer, it's getting pushed through. But then when you shoot a deer with a super heavy front of center arrow, where a lot of the weight is up front in these builds, it's being pulled from that weight. It's being pulled through the deer or the animal or whatever, and it's just more initial mass, being inserted into the delivery of this broadhead or this arrow. And that right there is what's going to give you your power. It's going to give you your bone breaking ability. It's going to give you, just the overall the best result that you're going to have on getting pass-throughs through animals. Because everyone knows, every hunter knows that when you're in that moment, one little twitch could cause this to go from where you want it to into a shoulder blade, or where you want it to, it might just accidentally hit a rib, and that's where these setups tend to shine. Is these blades are thicker, they're not gonna bend and curl if it hits a bone. It might get a little bit dented up on the blade edge, but for the most part this is gonna break it. It's gonna go right through it. And then what you got to worry about after that is it getting pulled through the rest of the animal. But I would much rather trust this broadhead to go through a scapula than this broadhead to go through a scapula. Like, yes, they're good, but what's to say, you know, this expands just the wrong way and it hits both sides of a rib. Well, now you got this side broke off and that side broke off, and you just have a head basically going through a deer with a ½ inch maybe of a cutting diameter. Like, it's just not smart. So in my opinion, that's why I think a lot of people have switched up to these cut on contact style blades, and they get even crazier with the single bevel and the double bevel. I just wanted to go ahead and try out a double bevel before I went ahead, you know, probably next year, spend the money on some good quality, you know, single bevels, because the technology in a single bevel is pretty cool. How it, you know, because when your arrow goes into an animal, that arrow will still kind of rotate a little bit, but with a single bevel, if you were to go into the animal and hit bone, it's going to break that bone, and then since it's beveled on the bottom side and the top side, those are your cutting edges, it's going to take that broadhead basically, and it's going to just slightly turn it when it goes through, opening up that bone and allowing your arrow to, you know, smoothly go through that shoulder blade or whatever the case it may be. They are incredibly cool on the technology that is behind them, but I think that these are a really good starter into the cut on contact style blades. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys give these broadheads a chance if you've watched this, or if you're borderline, you know, on the fence about going cut on contact broadheads. I'm telling you to do it. You're not going to regret it. You're going to love it, honestly. If you guys have any questions on any of the broadheads that I've ever shot, whether it be these, the QADs, the G5s, put it down in the comments. You know, let me know what broadheads you guys are shooting down in the comments. Let me know what arrow setups you guys are shooting. I love finding out all of these new things, and I'm trying to build the community here a little bit bigger. So with that being said, you know, stay sharp, and I'll see you guys freaking later. Peace.